Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this lecture here we are going to explain about JavaScript scope. Here, what is scope in JavaScript? So simple meaning of your scope means visibility or accessibility of variable in programs. In simple word, scope decides where a variable can be used in your code. JavaScript JavaScript has three types of scope: global scope, function scope, block scope. You see, look at here, global scope, function scope, block scope. So first here we have to work on this one. Here, global scope here. So we have definitions. This is definitions. Here, a variable declared outside any function or block has global scope. This means the variable can be accessed from anywhere in the program. So this is a simple definition of your global scope. Here let me go to here and create a create an example where that is a global number. It is 10. Then let username is equal to, here it is a global scope zone, then const it is equal to 3.1 for global scope. Then here we can define the functions so that then here inside it, here let me console the log. Here console log global number, paste it, it is a username, then we have the pi. This is here pi. Then here we have to execute your function, so that you have to put right parenthesis here. You see guys, global number, user name and pi are the declared outside the function. These three variable here, global number, username and pi, are declared outside the function. This is your function, but here all this variable declared outside this function. So they are a global variable. Got it? They are a global variable. Just to say the definition about global scoping, a variable declared outside any function. You see, this is my function here, and here you see a variable declared outside any function. So this is my function, and here we have our variable. Here we don't have any variable inside this function. Suppose suppose if you put like this one, then here your definition now it is wrong. So you see here, this is simple. Your definitions here, a variable declared outside any function. This is my functions, and we have declared your variable outside your functions. This is function. So that this means the variable can be accessed from anywhere in the program. So here they can be used inside any function or script. Now this global variable you can use inside this function or outside of this function. You can use here or anywhere in this file. You can use this variable because they are the global variables. So here what happened, accessible anywhere, here this variable, and you can use when data must be shared across the function. But too many global variable can create a conflict in large application. So you don't create too much variable, global variables. So let me execute and you see your output. We have to here execute your file name. What you have to go inside your file. You see here inside JavaScript we have already on the correct path. So here execute here node mind underscore state underscore 56, and you see your output. Got it? So it is totally working here guys. This is all about your global scope. Then we are going to explain your function scopes here. This is here variable declared inside a function are only accessible within that functions. They cannot be accessed outside the function. It is very simple. If you declare your variable inside a function, then that is your function. That variable have a function scope only. So we have the example here. Let here write function. It is calculate total. This is here. Inside it here, let price 500 console.log. Inside it here, put it here price. Okay, then you see what is simple thing, variable declared inside a function. You see here we have declared your variable inside a function. Here this variable inside your parenthesis, so that's why inside a function. If you put outside here, then this variable will become global scope variable. But you see here function scope, because this variable only accessible inside a function, not outside it here. So let me execute first, then you will understand it. This is your output. What? Okay, I know what are the missing things. Here we have to execute your function. Here copy this, try to execute your files, and you got your output 500. That is fine. But if you try to here console.log price here, and then tell me what you got it here. You got error. Why error? This is here. You have to console.log, check it here. You say price is not defined because this variable has only function scope. Here price is declared inside the function. This price, it is local to that function. Here inside it here, it cannot be accessed outside the function here. This one in that place you cannot access. You can access only in this function here. Here inside it here, only inside it here you can access this price. Got it? And then we have some important point here. Local variable exists only inside the function. Different function can use the same variable names. Then local variable are created when the function starts. They are destroyed when the function ends. Okay. So here now it's much enough for this function scope. Now next thing. Okay, here. Okay, we have the example for this important point. You see, let me create that function. Here student one. Let square is equal to 80. Then console.log score. Then similarly function student2, then let here score is equal to 95, then console.log score. Okay, so you see here what both functions use the score, but they do not conflict here because have their own scope. This score variable, we have only scope in this function. This 95 scope variable, you have the scope only this function, and this score have the scope only in this function. Got it? So you see a different function can use the same variable name. You see this variable name here, score. Local variable are created when the function starts. Here this variable is created when you execute this function. They are destroyed when the function ends. Okay, then when function stop executing, then this variable scope is destroyed. Okay, when the function ends. Such a simple thing. Then about the block scope, here we have definitions. Here variable declared in here, variable declared using let or const inside curly braces or only accessible inside that blocks. Here this is called block scope. Block example here, if statement loads, then code blocks. So let here we have to check it here. Let age it is equal to 25, then const city, and that is Delhi. Then we have to console that log age. Then we have console dot city. Find your document, and then here let me console.log and then age. Got it? So you see that here age and city exist only inside the block. This variable, age variable and city variable here These two only exist in this curly braces. Just to see the definitions, variable declared using later const. Mix it here. Here later const keyword. You see later const keyword inside a curly braces. You see this one, this curly braces right here. This one curly braces. Variable declared using later const inside curly braces are only accessible inside that blocks. Okay, so this variable have a scope only in this block. Okay, if you try to console outside it here, outside of this curly braces, I mean here, this says you want to access here, then in that case you got it here. Okay, they cannot be used outside curly braces. This help the avoid accidental variable changes. Okay, let me here try to log and you will see your output. Age is not defined. Why? You already know why. Because here you define your variable age and city inside the curly braces, and so that's why this age and city have the scope only inside this curly braces. And if you try to access outside it, here you got it here. As much as simple. Then comment here and then here difference between var and let in the block scope. So here first we will talk about var keyword. About this one. Here inside curly braces you have defined var number is equal to 100. So tell me. Okay, here if you console.log number form change document and then execute here and you got it your output 100. Okay, it's work here. Here var ignore the block scope here because you see you have initialized your variable with a var keyword, not like a const or let keyword. So that's why here you are easily access to. So that's why here you are easily able to access this number outside your curly braces. Got it? Suppose what happened here if you try to use a let here, so it is a block scope here, and if you try to like this one, you got it either here. Here if you change let this one, in that case you got here execute and you see here number is not defined because it has only scope inside this curly braces. Outside it you cannot access. Okay, let respect in the block scope, not ignore. Then we have the automatically global variables here. If you assign a value without declaring a variable, JavaScript make it global automatically. So here we do the example. Here let's create functions, create for functions, then inside here core model. This is here Tesla. You see here before core model we don't have like var let and const keyword here. I mean here like var keyword or const keyword or let keyword. You see here we have just leave as it is here, no var let const, and try to execute it functions. Okay, this one that is fine. Then console.log not confirm, console.log your core model. So in that case here what happened, just the example here, automatically global variable, this will core model will be global variable because here if you assign a value without declaring a variable, yes here we don't have declare yet like it is a var or let or const keyword. JavaScript make it automatically global. Okay, so now this is your global variable because you don't have a sign. Okay, declare a keyword let const var like this, then check it here, you will see here your result Tesla. That is fine and it's working here, but this is a bad practice, keep in mind. Now we have to move to strict mode here. Okay, so here strict mode in JavaScript has a strict mode to prevent the mistakes. In strict mode undeclared variable are not allowed. Suppose if you try to like this here, I mean these functions, copy this here, remove the comment, and this is here remove, and here you have to use huge strict. Got it? This is here use strict. Okay, then it here you got it here. Let me try to copy this, paste it, then try to execute your files and you see a car model is not defined here because of this one. This use is strict here. In strict mode, undeclared variable are not allowed. You see here we don't have defined. You see we do not declare this variable like it is a let const or work keyword. So that's why, because you got here this here use strict here. Okay, basically this use strict, declarative. This help writes different cleaner code to the developers. Then here we have the next topic about this one. Okay, so let's move to the head and use very important warnings about it. Avoid creating too many global variables. Okay, then with the what is the problem? Okay, caused by these things, variable may override each other, harder to maintain large application, can conflict with browser functions, and best practice here use function scope or block scope whenever possible. Okay, so keep in mind here you always use your function scope or block scope. Okay, you don't use global variables. Okay, so it is all about your here JavaScript scope. Got it? So in the next lecture, I think we will work on another topic, that is what we have a code blocks. Got it? So thanks for watching. I will see you next one.